My name is Emma. I am 26 years old. I live in a small town. The town is quiet. I like it here. I have a simple job. I work in a small bookshop. I love books. I love the smell of old paper. My life was simple, and my life was very happy. My happiness had a name. His name was David. David was 27 years old. He was my fiancé. We were engaged. I loved him very much. He was kind and funny. He had warm eyes and a big smile. When he smiled, I felt happy. We met in college. We were friends first. Then we fell in love. Our love was simple and easy. We liked the same things. We liked long walks in the park. We liked watching old movies on Sunday nights. We ate popcorn and sat on our old, comfortable sofa. We talked about everything. We talked about our day. We talked about our dreams. Our dream was a small house with a big garden. We wanted 2 children and a small dog. It was a simple dream. It was our dream. 1 year ago, David asked me to marry him. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining. We were at our favorite place, a small hill near a lake. He got down on one knee. He held a small box. Inside the box was a ring. It was not a big, expensive ring. It was a simple, silver ring with a small, blue stone. The stone was the color of his eyes. "Emma," he said. His voice was a little shaky. "Will you marry me?" Tears were in my eyes. They were happy tears. I said, "Yes, yes, David, I will marry you." He put the ring on my finger. It was a perfect fit. I looked at the ring and I looked at him. My heart was full of love. I felt like the luckiest person in the world. We were so happy. We started to plan our future. I also had a best friend. Her name was Zoey. Zoey was 26 years old, like me. We were friends since we were small girls. We grew up together. We went to the same school. We did everything together. She was like a sister to me. I told her all my secrets. She told me all her secrets. I trusted her completely. When I told Zoey about the engagement, she was very happy. She hugged me. "Oh, Emma, this is wonderful news," she said. "I am so happy for you and David." Zoey helped me plan the wedding. We looked at wedding dresses together. I tried on many white dresses. Zoey sat and watched. "That one is beautiful on you," she said. We looked at flowers. We talked about the cake. She was very involved. She was my maid of honor, of course, my best friend. I was so happy to share this special time with her. David liked Zoey too. They were good friends. The three of us spent a lot of time together. We had dinner together. We went to the cinema together. We were a happy group of three. I thought we were all happy. I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. The change was slow. It was quiet. At first, I did not notice it. It was like the weather changing from summer to autumn. One day, you feel the sun. The next day, you feel a small, cold wind. David started to change. He became quiet. He worked late more often. He said he was very busy at his job. I understood. His job was important. But when he came home, he was different. He did not smile as much. He spent a lot of time on his phone. He sent many text messages. "Who were you texting?" I asked one evening. We were on the sofa. I wanted to watch a movie. He was looking at his phone. "Oh, just work stuff," he said. He did not look at me. Before, he always put his phone away when we were together. Now, his phone was always in his hand. A small wall was growing between us. The wall was made of silence and secrets. I felt it. I felt lonely, even when he was next to me. I tried to talk to him. "David, is everything okay?" I asked one night. "You seem distant." He looked at me. His eyes were tired. "I'm just tired, Emma. A lot of pressure at work." He gave me a small kiss on my forehead. It felt cold. It did not feel like his usual kiss. Zoey changed too. She was my best friend, but she became distant. She called me less. Before, we talked on the phone every day. Now, maybe once a week. When we did talk, the conversation was strange. She was not interested in the wedding plans anymore. "How are the flower arrangements?" I asked her on the phone. "Oh, they sound nice," she said. Her voice was flat. She did not ask more questions. Instead, she asked about David. "How is David?" she asked. "Is he working a lot?" "Yes, he is very busy," I said. "You must be lonely," she said. Her words were strange. It was not like her. She seemed to know something. I had a strange feeling in my stomach. It was a small, cold feeling. I told myself I was being silly. She was my best friend. David was my fiancé. I trusted them. One Saturday, I planned a nice dinner for David and me. I cooked his favorite food, pasta with meatballs. I lit some candles. I wanted us to connect again. I wanted to see his old smile. He came home late. He did not notice the candles. He did not notice the special dinner. "Hello," he said. He put his bag down. He looked very tired. "I made dinner," I said, trying to smile. "Oh, I'm not very hungry, Emma," he said. I ate something at the office. My heart sank. I looked at the beautiful table. I looked at the food. I felt so stupid. I felt so sad. Okay, I said. My voice was very small. I ate alone that night. The food had no taste. The house was quiet. David was in the other room, on his phone. The silence was so loud. I knew something was very wrong. I was scared. I did not want to lose him. I loved him so much. But I felt him slipping away from me, like sand through my fingers. Have you ever felt that something is wrong, but you don't want to believe it? You try to ignore the feeling, hoping it will go away. Let me know in the comments if you have ever felt like this. It's a very lonely feeling. The bad day came. It was a Tuesday. I remember the weather. It was raining. The sky was gray. The rain hit the windows of the bookshop. It was a sad sound. I felt sad all day. I had a heavy feeling in my chest. When I came home, David's car was in the driveway. It was early for him to be home. My heart started to beat fast. I opened the door. He was standing in the living room. He was not looking at his phone. He was just standing there, looking at the floor. He looked pale. "David?" I said. "You are home early." He looked up at me. His eyes were full of something I did not recognize. It was not love. It was pain, and it was guilt. "Emma," he said. His voice was low and broken. "We need to talk." My whole body went cold. Those words are never good words. "Okay," I said. I put my bag on a chair. I did not take off my wet coat. We stood there in the quiet room. The only sound was the rain outside. It felt like time stopped. "I can't do this," he said. He looked at me, then looked away. "I can't marry you, Emma." The words hit me like a physical punch. I could not breathe. I could not speak. The room started to spin. I held on to the back of the chair to stay standing. "What?" I finally whispered. "What are you saying?" "I am so sorry," he said. He kept repeating it. "I am so sorry." "Why?" I asked. My voice was a stranger's voice. Is there someone else?" He was silent for a long time. He could not look at me. Then he nodded his head. A very small nod. but it was enough. It was a yes. My world, my beautiful, simple world, shattered into a million pieces. The dream of the small house, the garden, the children, the dog. It all disappeared. There was only this cold, empty room and a man who did not love me anymore. Who? I asked. I needed to know. I had to know who she was. He shook his head. I can't tell you. It will only hurt you more. Please, David, I begged. Tears were running down my face now. Hot tears. Just tell me. He looked at me with so much pity in his eyes. I can't, Emma. I'm sorry. He went to our bedroom. I heard him opening drawers. He was packing a bag. He was leaving. He was leaving me. I just stood there, in my wet coat, unable to move. I was in shock. He came out with a small bag. He walked to the door. He stopped and looked back at me. I truly am sorry, Emma. You are a wonderful person. You deserve to be happy. And then he left. He closed the door behind him. The click of the door was the final sound, the end of our story. I fell to my knees. A sob came out of me, a sound of pure pain. I cried and cried until I had no more tears. The house was so empty. Our photos were on the walls, smiling at me. Our sofa was there. The ring was on my finger. But he was gone. My future was gone. I was completely and utterly alone. The next days were a blur. I did not eat. I did not sleep. I called my boss and said I was sick. My heart was sick. I stayed in bed. I looked at the ceiling. I thought about him. I thought about the other woman. Who was she? Why did he choose her? What did she have that I did not have? The questions went around and around in my head. A week later, I found out. I needed to buy some milk. I had to leave the house. I put on old clothes. I did not want to see my sad, tired face. I walked to the small shop down the street, and I saw them. They were in the small cafe across the street. They were sitting at a table by the window. It was David, and with him was a woman. She was laughing. He was smiling at her. It was his real smile, the smile he used to give me. Then the woman turned her head. I saw her face clearly. It was Zoey, my best friend, my Zoey. I stopped in the middle of the sidewalk. I could not move. The milk carton fell from my hand and hit the ground. Milk spilled everywhere, white like a ghost. David and Zoey, my fiancé and my best friend. The pain was unbelievable. It was a double betrayal. It was not just one person who hurt me. It was the two people I loved and trusted the most in the world. They were together. They were happy. And I was here, broken on the sidewalk. I turned around and ran. I ran back to my empty house. I locked the door. I slid down to the floor. The pain in my chest was so strong, I thought I was going to die. It was worse than the breakup. The breakup was a storm. This was an earthquake that destroyed everything. My past, my present, my future. All gone. All a lie. The weeks after that were dark. I felt like I was living underwater. Everything was slow and heavy. I went to work. I smiled at customers. I put books on shelves. But I was not really there. I was a ghost in my own life. I came home to the quiet house. The silence was my only companion. I took down all the photos of David. I put them in a box. I saw a photo of the three of us, David, Zoey, and me. We were at a summer picnic. We were all smiling. It looked so happy. It felt like a lifetime ago. Was it all a lie? Was she planning this even then? I put the photo in the box and pushed it under my bed. I did not want to see their faces. I did not talk to anyone about it. Who could I talk to? My best friend was the person who caused my pain. I felt so alone. I cried a lot, mostly at night, when the house was darkest. Then, about a month after I saw them, my phone rang. I looked at the screen. The name was Zoey. My heart stopped. Why was she calling me? What could she possibly want to say? My hand was shaking. A part of me wanted to reject the call, but another part, a curious part, needed to know. I pressed the green button. "Hello?" I said. My voice was weak. "Emma, hi. How are you?" Her voice was bright and cheerful. It was like a knife in my heart. How could she sound so happy? "I'm okay," I lied. "Good, good. I have some amazing news," she said, her voice full of excitement. "David and we're getting married." I closed my eyes. The pain was fresh again, sharp and deep. They were getting married. So fast. Our wedding, the one we planned, was supposed to be in 6 months. They were stealing my wedding, too. I could not speak. There were no words. "Emma, are you there?" she asked. "Yes," I managed to say. It was just a breath of air. "Well, The wedding is going to be small and quick, she continued, not noticing my pain. And that's why I'm calling. I know things are complicated, but you are still my best friend. You have been my best friend my whole life. It would mean the world to me if you would be my bridesmaid. Silence. The world stopped. The rain from that terrible Tuesday was back, and it was inside my head. Did I hear her correctly? She stole my fiancé. She destroyed my life. She broke my heart into 1,000 pieces. And now, she was asking me to stand next to her, to smile, and to celebrate her marriage to the man she took from me? She wanted me to be her bridesmaid? It was unbelievable. It was crazy. "Emma, please say something," she said. Her voice was a little softer now. "It would show everyone that we are still friends, that everything is okay." Everything is okay? Was she living on a different planet? I felt a strange calm wash over me. It was not peace. It was the calm of pure shock. My mind was empty. I need to think about it, Zoey," I said. The words came out automatically. I did not know why I said them. I should have screamed. I should have cursed her. I should have told her what a terrible person she was, but I couldn't. I was too broken. "Oh, okay. Yes, of course. Take your time," she said, her cheerful voice returning. "But please say yes. I can't imagine my wedding day without you. Talk to you soon. Bye." She hung up. I stood in my silent living room, holding my phone. The request echoed in my head. Be my bridesmaid. Be my bridesmaid. Be my bridesmaid. It was the ultimate betrayal. It was not enough for her to take my happiness. She wanted me to watch it, to approve of it, to be a part of it. She wanted me to stand there and validate her actions. She wanted me to hold flowers while she kissed my former fiancé at the altar. That night, I did not cry. I felt something else. A cold, hard anger was starting to form in the empty space of my heart. It was a small spark in the darkness. The anger was new. For weeks, I only felt sadness and pain. Sadness is heavy. It makes you want to stay in bed. But anger is different. Anger has energy. I looked around my house. It still felt like our house. His favorite mug was still in the kitchen cabinet. His old sweater was still on a chair. I spent a whole Saturday cleaning. I was not just cleaning the dust. I was cleaning my life. I gathered all of David's things: the mug, the sweater, his books, the stupid video games he loved. I put everything in the box with the photos. I sealed the box with strong tape. I wrote David on it in big black letters. I put the box in my car. I drove to his parents' house. I left the box on their front door. I did not ring the doorbell. I just left it and drove away. It felt good. It was a small step, but it was my step. Then I dealt with Zoey. I went through my phone. I deleted every photo of her, every photo of us together. From our childhood, from our school days, from last year. It hurt. It was like deleting a part of my own life. But it was necessary. She was not my sister. She was a stranger who hurt me. After the cleaning, the house felt different. It felt more like my own. It was still quiet, but it was a different kind of quiet. It was not an empty quiet. It was a peaceful quiet. I knew I needed to take care of myself. I was thin and pale. I started to eat better. I bought fresh vegetables and fruits. I cooked simple meals for myself. I ate at the kitchen table, not on the sofa. I started a new routine. Every morning, before work, I went for a walk. I walked in the park, the same park where David and I used to walk. At first, it was hard. Every tree, every bench held a memory. But I kept walking. I focused on the small things, the morning sun on my face, the sound of birds singing, the smell of wet grass. Slowly, very slowly, the park became my park again, not our park. One day, I walked past a small flower shop. I stopped. I bought a small plant in a pot. It was a little green plant. I took it home and put it on my windowsill. I watered it every day. I watched it grow. Taking care of something small and alive made me feel a little less lonely. I thought a lot about Zoey's request. Be her bridesmaid. The idea was still crazy. It was still cruel. But the anger was fading. It was being replaced by something else, a kind of clarity. Why did she ask me? Maybe she was selfish. Maybe she was stupid. Or maybe, in her strange mind, she really believed we could still be friends. She wanted to erase the past. She wanted to pretend she did nothing wrong. But I could not pretend. I could not erase the truth. My pain was real. My broken heart was real. And I was starting to understand something important. Her wedding was her story. It was her and David's story. It was not my story anymore. My story was here, in this quiet house, with my little plant and my morning walks. My story was about healing. Standing at her wedding in a bridesmaid's dress? That was not healing. That was reopening the wound. It was letting them hurt me again. I deserved better than that. I deserved peace. I deserved to be happy again, on my own terms. My happiness could not depend on them. It had to come from me. I baked cookies one afternoon. The recipe was from my grandmother. I mixed the flour and sugar and butter. The smell of baking filled my small house. It was a warm, comforting smell. It smelled like childhood. It smelled like home. When the cookies were done, I ate one. It was warm and sweet. I smiled, a real small smile. I was still sad. I was still hurt. But I was not broken anymore. I was putting the pieces of my life back together, one small piece at a time. The walk, the plant, the cookies. They were small things, but they were my things, and they were making me stronger. I knew my answer. I did not need to think about it anymore. I needed to tell her. I waited a few days. I wanted to be calm. I did not want to call her when I was angry or sad. I wanted to call her when I felt strong. One evening, after my walk, I sat on my sofa. My little plant was on the windowsill. The last light of the sun was coming through the window. I felt quiet and ready. I picked up my phone and called Zoey. She answered on the second ring. "Emma, I was waiting for your call." "So, what do you say?" Her voice was eager and happy. I took a deep breath. "Hello, Zoey," I said. My voice was steady. It was calm. It was my voice. "I am calling about your wedding. I cannot be your bridesmaid." There was silence on the other end of the line. For the first time, she was speechless. "Oh," she finally said. Her voice was small and surprised. "Why not? I thought—" "Zoey," I said, interrupting her. "What you and David did, it hurt me very much. You were my best friend, and he was the man I was going to marry. I cannot stand next to you and celebrate that. It is not possible." "But I want us to be friends again," she said. She sounded like a child. "That is not possible right now," I said simply. It was the truth. I need to take care of myself. I need to heal. Being in your wedding would not help me. It would only cause more pain. I was not shouting. I was not crying. I was just stating the facts. "I wish you and David happiness," I said. And in that moment, I think I almost meant it. I did not want them to be unhappy. I just wanted them to be away from my life. But I cannot be a part of it. My life is going in a different direction now. I need to go. Goodbye, Zoey. I hung up the phone before she could say anything else. I put my phone down. A huge weight lifted from my shoulders. I felt free. I said, no. I chose myself. I protected my own heart. It was a very big step for me. The day of their wedding came a few weeks later. It was a sunny Saturday. I knew it was their wedding day. I did not feel angry. I did not feel sad. I just felt quiet. It was a day like any other day. I did not stay home. I went to the city for the day. I went to a big museum. I looked at beautiful paintings for hours. I had lunch in a small cafe by myself. I bought a new book from a big bookshop. I did not think about them. I thought about the paintings. I thought about my book. I thought about what I would have for dinner. When I came home that evening, the sun was setting. My little plant was on the windowsill. The house was quiet and peaceful. It was my home. My story had a lot of pain. It had a big betrayal. But the story was not over. The part with David and Zoey was over. That chapter was closed. Now a new chapter was beginning. My name is Emma. I am 27 years old now. I live in a small town. I work in a bookshop. I have a small plant. I like to walk in the park in the morning. I like to bake cookies. My life is very simple. I am alone, but I am not lonely. I am learning to be happy again. The future is not a big, clear plan anymore. It is a quiet, open road, and I am ready to walk it. I have hope. And for now, that is enough. Thank you for listening to my story. If you liked this story, please give it a like, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Your support means a lot to me.